The second question I want to ask, I want to get to, is the question of who am I? This is a kind of big question. Who am I? Well, that's kind of interesting. I can think about that in lots of different ways. So, I am, in fact, a self-assembled biological machine, which is true. I am a self-assembled biological machine. In other words, one of the great things about your body, which is amazing, is that once you're born, right, you're no longer everything gets kind of made by itself. Even inside your mother's womb, it's not like there's a factory in there that's putting things in. Things just kind of naturally come together in this self-assembled way. It's really cool. In fact, in my laboratory, we work on self-assembly. Like, how do you make things that make themselves? So I am a self-assembled biological machine. I'm also the product of my genes. My genes have had a very important effect on who I am. I am also a member of a social system. So part of who I am is I'm a member of a social system. I am gendered, which can be really important. I'm a citizen of the Netherlands, in fact. We voted yesterday. And I'm an economic actor. Sometimes people want to reduce me to nothing but an economic actor, but I like to think that I'm a lot more than just that. I'm also a father. And all these things are part of my identity. So when you ask me, who am I? Every single one of those things is true. Right? And they're not, just because one of them is true doesn't mean the other ones are not true. In fact, I am a Homo sapiens. I'm from the kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, etc., all the way down to species Homo sapiens. So I am a Homo sapiens. And hopefully, as far as I can tell, so are all of you. And I'm also a collection of chemicals. So I'm made of about 60% water. And in fact, I've got enough iron in myself for about 2,000 matches, enough phosphorus for 2,000 matches, enough iron for one nail, enough chlorine to disinfect a swimming pool, and enough fat, for about 10 bars of soap, or perhaps a few more. Yeah, probably a few more, actually. And so I am a bag of chemicals. But I think I'm more than that. And one interesting way of thinking about that is to ask myself, how would I measure the value of a human life? So measuring the value of human life, or considering whether a certain human being is valuable, is a really important thing in our modern society. In our modern society, we by and large agree that humans' life is valuable, period. We believe in the kind of sanctity of human life. And that is something which traditionally has been based on deeply Christian presuppositions. But let's say you don't like those and you want to try to use science to explain this. So you'd like to use a scientific method to really explain what the value of a human being is. Wouldn't that be great? Then we wouldn't disagree about this anymore, and we'd all have this one nice method of figuring this out. But let's say I tried to use science to describe the value of a human being. How would I do that? Well, it's really hard. So if I was a chemist, I might look at the value of the elements that you're made of, but that seems pretty silly, right? Somebody with gold fillings is not worth more than somebody without gold fillings. Or if I was a physiologist, I might look at the size of your brain, or a psychologist, how smart you are, or an anthropologist, how the community values you, or an economist, how much economic value you produce. But we immediately sense that each of those different ways of trying to work out our value is deeply flawed and is actually almost offensive if I were to try to do that to you. And the reason for that is that we need some other source of value for the idea that we value human beings. And science simply can't give that to us.